This is the Cuttlebug by Provocraft, and I'm going to show you how to cut and emboss Spellbinders dies in this particular machine. First, you're going to want to place your A plate down, then your C plate, then your Spellbinders die face up, which is the cut blade up, right down on your C plate, your cardstock, and then I'm going to use a B plate on top. So my first combination is an A, C, die, then B. And I'm going to roll it through this machine. And the first pass through this machine is simply going to cut out your die shape. So I have my dies cut out. And now I'm going to emboss my die, this detail, into this plain die cut. I'm going to just simply remove my C plate. And I'm going to add my tan embossing mat, and this is from Spellbinders, and place it on top of my die. Now, to get a little bit of added pressure and to make this embossing detail stand out, I need to shim this with 3 pieces of cardstock. If you're using a Spellbinders Edgeability die, you're only going to want to shim with 2 pieces of cardstock. So what we're going to do is place that on top, and then we're going to use our 2 B plates stacked on top of one another. And we're going to just roll this through the Cuttlebug machine. And now we're going to have an amazing Spellbinders embossed die cut. Wow, is that beautiful? And then again, because Spellbinders dies can be used as stencils, I can then color through my die to give it some added detail. But when you pop these pieces out, it's pretty amazing, the detail on the dies. They're very beautiful. So there we have it, the Cuttlebug by Provocraft with the Spellbinders dies. This is the Revolution machine by Quick Cuts, and I'm going to show you how to cut and emboss Spellbinders dies in this machine. You're going to need Spellbinders tan embossing mat in order to do the embossing step. First, you're going to take your die with the cut side up and place it down on the magnetic platform. Then you're going to take your cardstock and place it on top of your die. Then I'm going to take my little cut mat and place it on top. And I'm going to roll this through the Revolution machine. And it's going to cut out my Spellbinders die. And there we have a beautiful die cut. Now I'm going to emboss. And in order to emboss, you're going to need your Spellbinders tan embossing mat. And I'm going to place it right on top of my die. And then I'm going to take the embossing mat, the little clear embossing mat, and place that on the very top. And I'm going to roll this back through the Revolution machine. And I'm going to get my embossed die cut. Once I take all this apart, voila, I have my beautiful Spellbinders embossed die. You can see the detail there. And then we're going to pop this out. Wow, that came out pretty, just like all of them do. And this is how you would use a Quick Cuts Revolution with a Spellbinders die. This is the original Sizzix press machine for die cutting. I'm going to show you how to cut and emboss Spellbinders dies with this machine. You're going to need the system converter, which is this block right here, and you place it up underneath, just like that. You're going to need to have Spellbinders tan embossing mat and Spellbinders spacer plate in order to make this sandwich work. We're going to take the Spellbinders die, and this time you're going to use it face down instead of face up. We're going to place our cardstock, and then we're going to place our die face down. I'm going to take my spacer plate, and then I'm going to take a 12 by 6 piece of cardstock, and I'm going to fold it 3 times. Tri-fold it. And then I'm going to just slip this through the machine. Now, as you notice, I have the system converter by Sizzix on the Sizzix press. You definitely need to have your converter in order to do this sandwich. And what happens is our die is cut. And now we're going to emboss this die. We're going to flip this die over, lay it down. We're going to place the tan embossing mat on top of the die cut. We're then going to take our trifold shim that we made with a piece of cardstock and place it on top. And again, we're going to slide it through the press. And now we have an embossed die cut. Wow, what a beautiful result with the Sizzix press. So no matter what die cut machine you have, you can enjoy the beauty and versatility of Spellbinders dies. The two machines in front of me are the Sizzix Big Kick and the Ellison Sizzix Big Shot. Both machines are manufactured by the same company. The sandwiches that I'm going to do and show you are to be used the same way in each machine. I'm going to make this really simple. You're going to need the Spellbinders tan embossing mats. They come in a set of 2. And for this particular sandwich, I am going to use both of my tan embossing mats. And you're also going to need a 12x6 piece of cardstock, folded 3 times, so tri-fold it. I'm going to take my die face up, which means the cut side up, and I'm just going to place it on my mat, my platforms, with all the little tabs closed down. So you just simply place that down on your platform, take your cardstock and put your cardstock on top of your die, and then I'm going to take my 2 acrylic mats, and I'm actually just going to place them together, and I'm going to just put them on top. It's a very simple sandwich. Platform, die, cardstock, acrylic mats, stacked in a row. And then I'm going to put this into my Big Kick machine, and I'm going to roll this through. And the first pass through this machine is going to cut out our Spellbinders die. And as you can see, when I remove the acrylic mats, I have my die cut. And I have just a plain die cut right now. Now what I'm going to do is emboss the detail into this die cut. And I'm going to leave this die down on the mat. Here's where I'm going to take my 2 tan mats and I'm going to place them on top of my die. Simple as that. That piece of cardstock you folded, you're going to place that on top for just a shim to add a little extra pressure for the embossing detail. And now I'm going to take 1 of my acrylic mats and place that on the top. I'm going to roll this back through, and my beautiful Spellbinders embossed die is going to be the result. When you take out the sandwich, take it all apart. Wow, a gorgeous embossed die. And now I'm going to pop it out of my die cut, out of my die. And there you can see the fabulous detail you get with Spellbinders embossed dies. So as you can see, using the Big Kick is as easy as a breeze. And like I mentioned earlier, the Big Shot is used the exact same way.